Long ago, Katara was trying to replicate some cookies from her hometown in the Southern Water Tribe while in the Earth Kingdom, and today we'll be making those cookies. Now, this may not be life or death need-to-know information, but that doesn't mean there's absolutely no reason to learn how to make them. For one, you may have grown up with the show like I did and love the idea of cooking one of Katara's recipes. That's so cool. Or you might be a parent whose children are less than thrilled with the idea of eating, just plain veggies. But chocolate cookies? Absolutely. They don't need to know that they're healthy. Or you might just think they sound good. And I promise they're better than they sound. Or maybe you just like baking, and we'll try anything once. Hi, I'm Aria, and I'm very qualified to speak because, one, I have watched Avatar: The Last Airbender 16 times. That's not 16, but... and two, I'm a pretty good baker. Pretty decent at it, if I say so myself. And I also just have the cookbook that the recipe comes in, so... So, today you will learn how to prep the wet ingredients, how to prep the dry ingredients and form them into dough, and how long to chill and bake them for, as well as recommended enjoyment methods. Now, before we get started, here are the ingredients and other things that you'll need to make these interesting sounding cookies. So, for miscellaneous things, you'll need a skillet, a food processor, 2 mixing bowls, 1 small, it's hardly small, and 1 medium, a cookie sheet, I'm not going to get it down right now, an oven, a kitchen, and for the ingredients, you will need 1 tablespoon of lard, or you can substitute neutral oil, 2 bunches, or about 8 cups, it's about that much, of kale, dinosaur kale, destemmed and roughly chopped. Half a teaspoon of salt, a half cup of melted margarine, cooled, or you can just use butter, vegan butter, whatever. 2/3 cup of light brown sugar, 1/3 cup of regular white sugar, 1 large egg, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper, and 1/4 to 1/2 cup of mini or regular chocolate chips, whatever your heart desires. Whew, that kind of sounds like a lot, huh? Well, we're going to start prepping the wet ingredients. First, we're going to saute our kale in the lard or oil, and we're going to add in that one of the 1/4 teaspoons of salt. This kale goes by many different names, such as, of course, dinosaur kale, Italian kale, Tuscan kale, calvonero, definitely didn't pronounce that right, and more. Now, once the kale has cooked down significantly, and the leaves are soft, we're going to put all that goodness into our food processor. And pulse into fine pieces. Once that's done, we'll set it aside and start prepping the next thing. In our medium bowl, we'll whisk together our melted butter. I'm using vegan butter. With the sugars and the other bit of salt. Mix these until smooth. Once those are smooth, we'll crack in an egg. Crack. Why we couldn't have added the egg at the same time, I don't know, but it's whatever. Now that we've prepped the wet ingredients, let's mix our dry ingredients and start forming the dough. In our small bowl, we're going to combine the flour, baking powder, cornstarch, and black pepper. And then we're going to whisk them together. Once we've done that, we're going to start folding our dry ingredients into the wet ingredients until they're just combined. Once that's just combined, we're going to take our sauteed kale smoothie, yum, along with our chocolate chunks, and fold those in too. It should look something like this. So, now that we've taken the wet and dry ingredients and combined them into dough, it needs to chill in the fridge for 8 hours or overnight. But, thanks to the power of editing, I can make it tomorrow. So, let's bake these cookies. You ever notice that you bake cookies and cook bacon? First, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You know, obviously, the classic temperature. Then, while your oven is preheating, you can take the dough, form it into balls like this, and place them on your cookie sheet. Make sure to leave about 2 inches of space between your cookies so they have room to expand. The book says to make 12. I'm making this many now, and I'll be making the rest later. Once your oven is preheated, go ahead and stick your cookie sheet in. The book says to bake them for 15 to 18 minutes, or until they've set and the bottom and edges are a nice light golden brown color. So, bake them until that happens. I'm going to start with 15 minutes. When you take them out, they should look something like this. You gotta let them cool for 2 minutes, and then they're ready to enjoy. In light of Netflix's very recent release of the live-action version of the show, today, in fact, as I'm recording this, I recommend getting some family and friends together and eating these as you watch the new release. I'll be watching it with my parents, and we're going to enjoy these cookies plus some other snacks, each one representing one of the nations. These cookies being Water Tribe, obviously. We're going to have a mudslide milkshake, also from here, and some spicy chips for the Fire Nation, and some meringues for the Air Nomads. And obviously some tea in honor of Uncle Iro. If you'd like to copy our idea. So, now that we've prepped our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients and formed them into a dough, baked the cookies, and learned the recommended enjoyment methods, we are ready to munch on these yummy cookies as we watch the Fire Nation attack. Secret tunnel, secret tunnel, through the... Two lovers, forbidden from one another. A war divides their people, when a mountain divides them apart. Built up to be together and die. Secret tunnel, through the mountains. A secret tunnel. And die.